So I wanted to talk today about. I did record this, but I kept getting interrupted. So here's hoping I know, because I'm a moron and I can't edit. It was about. I love TV. I love media. You know, especially when I was a kid. Shove it all down my throat. And I'm excited, kind of, because we got some good movies coming up. Oh, I also was talking about cowboys, pirates. You know, mobsters. Great things to play as a kid. Cops, robbers. You know, it's fun. Cowboys are cool. Who doesn't want to be a cowboy? Whether it's a cowboy nowadays or a cowboy back then. You know, Yellowstone to Tombstone, Red Dead to Rango to Toy Story. You know, to whoever. But I think it's funny when grown men and grown women. I don't discriminate against who's a moron, because everyone can be one. You too, if you try hard enough. It's actually not that hard. I mean, look at me. I'm an idiot, but I'm a good idiot. There's a difference. You'll see. Like, I'm an idiot, like, funny. I'm not, like, annoying. Like, I think the earth is flat and that women should not be allowed to vote, which is not true. Ladies, I'm 6 foot, and I believe in feminist rights, and that feminine care products should be free. Oh, man, I'm playing. Me when I see the guy who invented periods. Take that, you jerk. I'm single. I'm playing. I'm just goofing around. But there's a lot of idiots, And I think it's super funny when they, like, criticize kids' movies. Or, like, just any movies. Any movies, but, mostly kids' movies. Because, there's everyone, it's woke now. I mean, I'm like, I don't care. If it's a good movie, I don't care if it's, like, sleeping or woke. I don't care. I just like watching good movies. A good story. Love prevails, evil fails, whatever. Or evil doesn't. Maybe evil wins. Ooh. But, like, I saw this thing, people freaking out. The live action Strange Dragon, they're not going to be all white. There's going to be African American people in it. No, God curse it. I'm like, dude, it's a kid's movie. Who cares? Who cares? Like, there's literal dragons that they fly on. And not just like, like the real dragons. I think dragons are maybe real or some form. Possibly, I don't know. Not like real dragons. They have like, like comic book, fictional dragons. And the thing you're worried about is, the realism of the characters. So what? Like, big deal. No! No! Like, you're not gonna get eviscerated when you see the movie. No! Big deal. Like, if it's a good actor, cast them. I don't care. Like, I get casting for the role. Like, you're not gonna cast Gabriel Iglesias as John Wick. And you're not gonna cast, you're not gonna cast, you're not gonna cast who? Let me think of a good one. You're not gonna cast Stone Cold Steve Austin as Little Sally down by the river, like, obvious things like that. But like, big deal if it's like, the Vikings. No, it's not real. It's not real. It's like, no, kiss ass. I don't care. I mean, I just hope the movie's good, because I want to see a good movie. If it's a good movie, I'll see it. I mean, at least it wasn't like, Sonic. When Sonic came out and you saw the live action Sonic and we all were like, I'm not even a big Sonic guy, and I was like, look how they massacred their boy. Look how they massacred my boy. Godfather reference. What else? We also have live action Lilo and Stitch. That looks kind of cool. That looks kind of neat. I don't know who they cast though. I should look that up. But the thing, and I was talking about this because it's the same thing with James Bond. Is like I think they talked about casting Idris. I forgot how you say his name. The guy who was in Hobbs and Shaw, and he was like, I'm Black Superman. And it was really cool in that movie. I think it was like a super soldier or something. I forget what he was, but it was really cool in that movie. He's a really good actor. You know who I'm talking about. Idris. Let me. Idris Elba. Idris Elba. He's a rapper? He has a cool voice. I'd listen to that. As him for James Bond. And I'm like, that'd be cool. I think he's a good actor. Who cares? And they're like, no, once again, no, he's not white. James Bond is white. I'm like, okay, but or they talked about doing a woman or a black woman, and I'm like, oh, that's neat, If they do a good job, I don't really care. Like women in action movies, awesome. Kill Bill, that was a good movie. I've never seen it, but I know it's a good movie because it's by the feet guy, Quentin Tarantino, who casts himself in a role of someone who, the whole. But, you do you. But he's a good movie maker, I think. I don't think he did anything weird, like Mr. Puff Daddy over here weird. Just like, consenting adult normal stuff. But, I was kind of hoping, man, it's not even the fact of the actor or whatever. I was kill two birds with one stone. And people are making a big deal out of it. And people are doing it. And I know you don't always want to give them to the masses. But, make a new movie in the James Bond universe. It's a new character. Because, there's probably at least 3 of each James Bond movie by now. I think there's at least maybe 2 or 3 of the GoldenEye movies. Because if you look up GoldenEye movies, there's multiple, Because they just, it's reused. And they have books, here. And I brought them out for the previous one. Look at this. There's 4. No! Look how cool this cover art is, by the way. Look at this. They got Young James Bond books. Look at that one. Look at this one. Whoa. Hurricane Gold, I think that's called. By Royal Command. Look how tough these are, bro. They should make that into a movie. Or Spy School. That was a good book, too. James Bond, they talk about how he gets, things why does he like the Aston Martin, his car? Why is that his favorite car? Because when he was growing up, it was his grandma's car. It was the first car he got. How can he hold his breath for so long underwater? Well, when he was in the boarding school, there was this bully, and he had, I think it was either, he was just doing it for fun, where he had him and this other kid he also bullied, stay underwater for as long as they could, basically, kind of waterboarding him, and the other kid was doing fine. Or they raced underwater, I think. I don't remember. But once it's over, James Bond got beat. And he's like, how'd you do that? You're so good. And he goes, oh, I do these, breathing exercises because I'm in band. I do tuba. Would you like me to show you? And he's like, yeah. So that's how he learns that. And, I think they go through how he learns, fighting and stuff. It's very good. They're good books. Well, nerd, I'm talking about books. Nerd. But, yeah, like I said, James Bond retires. Daniel Craig's James Bond retires. Someone takes over. 008? 009, Or do Young James Bond. And Spy School, they could make that a movie. I think I have a bunch of them over there. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6 of them. Those are good books. But yeah. And that's what I like about the new Lion King. As I remember they made Lion King 2, and I think it just kind of was the original Lion King 2 was a sequel. I can't remember. I don't remember when I saw it. But for this one, I could be completely wrong and sounding like an idiot. Hold on, let me just fact check it. Simba's Pride. What's this? Oh my God, James Earl Jones. Rest in peace. Oh my God, Matthew Broderick. By the way, he killed someone in a drunk driving accident. Yeah, so they did make Lion King 2. Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, 1998. 1998, really? I didn't realize it was that. It was around that time. That's a year after Beavis and Butthead came out. But yeah, and for this new one, they're doing, instead of that, they're doing why Simba, or why Mufasa. Wait, hold on. Yeah, why Mufasa, right? Yeah, because James Earl Jones played Mufasa. Why Mufasa and Scar like split apart, and it's like really journey, and like how he went from being the prince, Scar was a prince, to being like bottom of the barrel. And I'm like, that looks interesting. That looks good. Yeah, do that. Don't screw it up. You know. And then the other thing is nowadays, kids shows. Whether it's stuff like kid shows. I mean, they still kind of do sometimes, but kids shows, a while back, a couple of years, maybe when I was younger, they were really good. I mean, some of them still are, but like they really had effort. One good example is SpongeBob. Like SpongeBob, everything from the little close-ups to the jokes to when I watch SpongeBob episodes, it doesn't feel like there are some episodes where they do kind of same gimmick of the annoying Squidward thing, but it's like it's funny and it doesn't feel like I'm sitting here. Whereas like I'd rather watch SpongeBob than Family Guy. I'm gonna be completely fucking honest with you. Like from start to finish, if we're talking season like 1, episode 1 to the newest one, I'd probably watch that because SpongeBob is so funny, dude. And it's out of pocket. Like Family Guy's like, oh yeah, I remember that one time. Nothing against it. I like Family Guy too. I'm just saying. And like, I remember this music. Like, there's 3 instances. This is just a nerd thing for me. They had Pantera, like, make a song for it, or they use a song, and I think the Hibernation episode. Pantera. Pre-Hibernation is a song. Okay, it's edited version of the song Death Rattle. I'm gonna pre-hibernation week. Wait, is this the one I really like? Because I think if this is the one I like, I love this episode. I think this is because isn't this the one where I think if I could be wrong, but this is the one where Sandy hibernates and she's really big or whatever, and then they take all her fur off and she's real angry at them. But that was cool. Or like, there's 2 songs I think of constantly. What was it? Sweet Victory? I had it pulled up earlier. I was listening to it, actually. Crazy. Sweet Victory, yes. That was such a good song for that show. Like, they were like, you know what, let's make this song. I think they made it for the show. And it's a banger. Sweet. It's the one where, they're on, like, the football field, and they're like, Patrick, these are some ugly-looking fish. I think I'm gonna be sick. And Squidward's like trying to show up in front of his brother. I forget who's, or his like nephew or his relative. The fancy Squidward. Here, let me just Google what his name is. Fancy Squidward. Squilliam Fancy Pants. Squilliam Fancy Son. My bad. And then he does it, and SpongeBob does like the fucking 80s like rock show. He rises out of the stage with it. He starts singing, and Squid's like, and he's like, sweet victory. And Patrick has like a fucking goatee, and he's got the glasses playing on drums. That was sick. Or the Gary one. I think that was an episode, where Gary goes missing, and SpongeBob feels really sad. Gary, I know that I was wrong. Na 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 na. That's such a good song, bro. I'll cry to that song. I don't give a crap. I don't give a rat's ass. And they had I remember this. They had this scene. I forget what happens or who it is, but someone gets trapped in Davy Jones' locker, and I think it's on a painting. Like they're stuck in this painting, and it's a guy named Davy Jones. And have you ever, the Monkees, the band The Monkees? We're the Monkees. We like to monkey around. They're an older band. And it was the guy named Davy Jones who was in that band, and I thought that was funny. They also had a lot. They had a lot of guest stars. I remember. Didn't they have what's his name? The guy who sings Starman. I can see his face. Not Billy Idol. Alexa, who sings the song Starman?
The Starman soundtrack features Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones. Theme from New York by John Kander. All I have to do is dream.
Alexa, stop. David Bowie. They've had a lot of guest stars over the years too. And here's the other thing: is like those shows were good, and like here's some. I pull up some examples: Jimmy Neutron, Fairly Odd Parents. Remember the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour? That was like my end game. If you don't know, I don't remember how it happened exactly. I remember that kind of like I've seen. I went back and watched a bit of it. I think maybe a year ago, and they switched places. So it's Jimmy Neutron and Timmy in the Fairly Odd Parents world in that art style, and then Timmy Turner in the Jimmy Neutron world in that art style. And it's really funny to see him in 3D with his big ass teeth. And I was like, it was like that scene from Home Alone 2 when they're outside the abandoned apartment complex thing that had Kevin Riggs and Harry, I think. You know, the one, not Joe Pesci, the other guy. And he's on the floor after getting hit, and he's pointing. That's me. Sid this. Then, and even younger kid shows. Like, nowadays, a lot of young kid shows, I'm using Coco Melon as a big example. I'm not saying all shows when I was a kid were perfect. Caillou's a great example. That show should have been burnt from the face of the earth. I hate that kid. I want to slap him. You know the sound I'm talking about when you slap someone who's bald? You're going to hear that. It's going to be like a machine gun. Like, come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Slap him. But they were shows when you would put on a kid show for your kid, you know, even a young kid, doesn't matter what age, what show, whether it was like Sid the Science Kid, Backyardigans, I'm just looking at some examples, Max and Ruby. Like, they had plot, they had story. So, like, if you were a parent and you weren't doing anything, or you had this on for your kid and you couldn't watch anything else, at least it wasn't like watching garbage, you know? Like, at least you're like, oh, this is interesting. Whether it was that, whether it was, you know, Sophia the First, Doc McStuffins, we got, like I said, Max and Ruby, Ben 10, Johnny Test, Wildcrats, that was a good one. Word Girl, Martha, Backyardigans. What was the other one that was like Backyardigans? It was like, it had like live action animals almost, I think. It was a very good show. Wonder Pets, that's the name of the show. Or Little Einsteins, you know, or like the old Disney show, Yo Gabba Gabba. Curious George, Kim Possible, Scooby Doo. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I like Scooby Doo, but I never loved Scooby Doo as a kid, and here's the reason why. Because I didn't like the fact that it was never, like 9% of the time, it was never like a real ghost. I'm like, damn. Like, it's just some old dude in a suit. And it's always the guy at the beginning, 90% of the time. I did like the Scooby-Doo, the Scooby Natural, or whatever the hell you called it. I have to watch that. I haven't seen it, but I want to see it because it looks super good. With Dean Winchester hitting on Daphne. He's like, look at Fred with that can-do attitude. What other shows were there? Word World. Oh, shit. Word World. What else? Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Yeah, that was a banger show. See, these were all good shows. I don't think there's a single show in here I would not mind watching. Wait, did Osmosis Jones get a show? That's awesome. Wizards of Waverly Place. Please tell me y'all know what that is. I think Selena Gomez was in that. It was like a Disney show, and it was kind of like Thunder, the Thundermans, you know, or like Henry Danger, you know, where it's like the Secret Double Life, but they're witches. Or it was, I think there was a ghost one too. Danny Phantom. I thought Danny Phantom always looked like that one guy. I forget who, but he looks like someone. Oh, Go Diego Go. That was like a spin-off of Dora. Did y'all ever watch that? That was good. Johnny Test, like I said. Phineas and Ferb is goated. Invader Sim, I didn't watch it much, but it is hysterical. Peppa Pig. I don't care what y'all say, even though it's a British show. It's still it's an absolute banger. I mean, I didn't like the times that they all cried, and maybe I'm just hyping it. League of Super Evil. I would have liked that, probably. Barnyard, Let's go Pocoyo. I remember that show. Ben 10, I don't think I watched any of Ben 10's as a kid. I remember Word Girl, though. And, oh my god, do you guys remember, well, I also like the original Looney Tunes. You remember Lazy Town? You know, remember the meme that was popular like maybe 2015? That we are number one. Hey, that show. Basically, it was a show. It was kind of goofy. It was kind of weird, but it was about eating healthy and stuff. And I forget his name. Wasn't it Legolas or something? It was something really cool. It was this guy, and he would eat really healthy, and he would do a bunch of flips and stuff. And he would always take out the bad guy, whose name was Robbie Rotten. And I was like, he was such a cool villain. And in that episode, he clones himself. There's also an episode where they do like a big bad wolf thing. I screwed with that. But yeah, bring back those shows. Start playing them. Also, bring back original Looney Tunes when they had guns and dynamite and bombs and baseball bats and mallets, and they beat the crap out of each other and they screamed. They went, "Quiet! Shut up! I am a rabbit! Turn off those lights!" I'll say. I love that. I love cartoon violence. It is so fun. Whacking. I wish it was real. I want to whack someone over the head with a mallet, watch them waddle away. I want to paint. That's how I want to. I wish. Wouldn't that be awesome if that's how ops fought nowadays? Your op, instead of going like, "What's up?" They go, They paint a thing into the wall, and they're like, he's gonna drive right into it. He drives into it. He drives through it, and then he tries. Or they do the thing where they chase him off a cliff. He makes it to the other side. He looks down. Holds up a sign. Yikes! Falls perfect outline. Anyways, yeah, that's it. I love TV shows. I love children's shows. Like, subscribe. Yeah, have a good night.